Hi, Gene. What are we doing today?
So, no snow out yet. So while we're waiting for the weather to change, we're going to give the snow crusher a bit of a tune-up. So, kind of along the same lines as what we did for the Churchill Express, we're going to do for this one. It's essentially the same machine, same engine, same process. So we're going to change out. We're going to put in some new crank seals. We're going to put in a new gasket on the intake, and we'll check the reed valves and a couple other things. Just get her ready to go.
Deadly. Hey, buddy. Oh my. Okay, what can we... Oh. You look like you're full of energy today.
Yeah.
Did you have an Ensure this morning?
Ensure
Yeah, like one of those shake drinks.
that my grandpa has every morning.
I get news. You're closer to being a grandpa than.
Here's my Ensure.
So-
Pulling the flywheel.
What are you using for a puller?
One of these. I don't know, what do you call them? Looks like a duck's foot.
I've never heard it called that before, but I think that might be the new name. I like that, the duck's foot.
It's a Princess Auto special, but what are you laughing at?
'Cause you-
There it goes.
Ta-da!
There it is. Look at how shiny it is. It looks like Christmas.
It does look nice under there. Quality OMC.
There's screws everywhere in here.
I told you it was the other bolts. You didn't listen.
Time to pull the clutch. So, in order to keep it from spinning, we're going to use some high-tech science. Some roll down the one cylinder. Just to jam that piston up.
I think they actually say that right in the manual.
Probably.
Yeah.
I haven't found a better way to do this.
Well, actually, I don't think they say in the manual. In the manual, they suggest, I think, putting a bar through the recoil cup. But I've read that that breaks an awful lot when you do it that way. Watch the little balls.
Where's the balls?
So how do we get this clutch off, Gene?
So these OMCs are a little different. They're threaded on, but you got to have a way to hold everything tight. So you can use one of these. This is not a machete. It's not for holding up 7-Eleven. This is in fact a wrench. Now what you do is you put it down into here, and hold it in behind, and you grab onto it there, and then
There's a square nut on the back of that clutch, right?
Now, this one is not fitting because this has been worked on at some point in the past, not by me.
I think that's obvious.
So this doesn't fit. So we got to do something a little different.
It's essentially just a hunk of pipe with a nut welded on the end. And we're going to use the
Locked in.
a bolt through there, through the holes for the neutral balls, and a breaker bar. Don't shit your pants.
Just like that. Woo. So yeah, so there. We've had a little bit of a...
I feel like we should look for a spare. And then we can get at that nasty old crank seal.
Way away, can you come away? Will you come today and for all time? It's a brand new world and it's here for you. So come on, let's take to the road and do what we want to do.
The new world of performance, the world of SO and SO Extra, now both with the engine cleaner. SO Extra with higher octane for extra power. SO and SO Extra, the performance gasolines, to take you and your car into the clean world of performance.
It's a brand new world, and it's here for you. So come on, let's take to the road and do what we want to do. It's a brand new world.
Now what are you doing?
I'm taking this off.
What's this?
So there's our carburetor down into this. Our reed valves are here, yeah? Reed valves? There's reed valves in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're gonna give those a look.
Okay. Oh yeah, they're kind of sticking open. There's a couple there that are open. Just a little bit.
Get yourself one of these little doodads, and it's just a razor blade that pops in there, and then you can very neatly just shim all that shit off of there. Slick. What did this cost you, Travis? Like $8?
Well, I don't remember.
Well, it couldn't have been much more than that.
No, I don't know.
So,
Oh, okay. Hold on here. Yeah, okay.
so they're bent open. These are just real thin metal, so we're gonna take it apart, flip them over, and they'll stay shut. Make sense?
100%.
Okay, all done. No sunlight through there.
Where'd you get those gaskets?
Oh,
Okay, Snowflake, so here you see I've taken the bottom plate and I've drawn it out here on the computer. Didn't take too long, I don't know, maybe 10 minutes. And now it's just a matter of loading the material into the machine and having it cut it out. Perfect. I think you got that gasket backwards.
what are you talking about? The
Your,
gasket's right.
your intake port.
What? We're backwards?
It's got to face towards the front.
This has got to go
That way.
Okay.
Just because that's how it lines up on the manifold. Okay, well, Gene's not here. He's busy doing some other stuff. So while we're waiting for crank seals to show up, Gene had been complaining that the transmission wasn't working quite right, and so I opened it up, and inside I found one, that there wasn't really any oil in it, and two, there's a little piece in there that goes around the gear that engages and disengages the reverse, and the ears on it had kind of gotten a little bit worn out. So I replaced that and resealed it, and it should be all better now. Should be good to go. So the other thing we're going to do is we're going to change the bearings on the drive shaft. So it's going to take a little bit of work, but overall it's going to be worth it. And the bearings aren't bad, but they aren't great. So we're going to change those on the front ones, and we're going to change the ones on the back here in these cups. Okay, so these bearings inside these cups they're a real bear to get out of here. I don't have a puller to get at it from the inside on this side, so what I'm going to do is open up this hole enough that I can press it out from this side. Alright, so what I've done here is I used this step drill, and I've opened up this hole here. Now I can press it out here in the press. There, you can see the hole is just big enough for me to get a 15/16 socket in, and now let's give her a go. And here's one of the old bearings. You can see it hasn't fallen apart yet, but it's very, very loose. Can you hear that? Like there's no lubrication here. You wouldn't get very far with this before it kind of blew apart. So this is a good thing to change on any old machine. Alright, well, here are the bearings that we have for this sled. These are the rear ones. Now the rear and front are both lock and collar style, but the rear ones have a straight race on the rear, whereas the front ones are domed or spherical. So these are a modern equivalent of what's in there. Got them off the shelf at the local bearing supply. There we go, new bearing pressed in. Looks good. I put a little cold galvanizing spray on there just to protect the area that we drilled out. Okay, now when you clean up your shaft to put your new bearings on, you'll see there's probably a little mark here from the set screw. And when you put the bearing on, it might not slide on all the way. So what you can do is just take a little file and knock that down a little bit. Because when you go to put your drive shaft in, you want your bearings to slide on further than they would normally go. It makes it a lot easier to put them into the machine. And then once you get the shaft in, you slide the bearings in the correct position and then lock them in place. Alright, here's the parts in the order you want to put them on your shaft. Here's your lock and collar, your inside flange, your bearing, and you want the eccentric part of the bearing to face to the inside, your other flange, and then there's a spacer here. Not all machines have spacers, but this one does. It's probably a good idea to grease it up as you sandwich it together. If you ever have to change them again, it makes it a lot easier. Alright, there you go. You can see we got all the bogies back in. Everything looks good. I mean, that track's, I don't know, I put it at 50%-ish, maybe less. But this worked out good. Just pumped her full of grease here. A pull here. You see how nice and easy that rolls?
If your engine isn't starting on cue, put in a fresh set of Champion spark plugs at least once a year. Champion and your engine can make beautiful music together.
Where have you been?
We haven't been anywhere. We've been waiting for what appears to be the hardest, the most elusive part on the planet. But guess what? We got him. It's been what? We've been waiting well over a month and a half.
It's been 5 weeks. There's a reason now that I'm starting to shop online. After 5 weeks of being on the phone steady, I've kind of memorized the number.
Go ahead.
Tell me if I'm right.
Yeah.
474 260, which also fits a transmission for like a 63 Dart or something. I hate watching other people work.
There we go.
Except for you, because I like to ridicule you. Must be some smoking women walking up my driveway for the dog to be barking like that. Nope. Snap.
This has got to go in. This cam's got to be lined up. And if it pops out and this gets in behind, then we're in real trouble. Hot soup.
I've never seen anyone with such a relieved look on his face.
Well, I don't think I could actually hear your thoughts. Come on, Gene, fuck this up.
That's not what was going through my head, because if you fuck it up, then I have to fix it. When you go and tighten it, if you hear a big crunch, then it's wrong. Is this what you call vintage spirit?
Yeah. Time.
So how many pulls do you think? I'm betting for 1 pull.
What?
Yeah, it runs. While you're busy screwing around, I made something.
Oh. Where'd you find time for this?
Listen, I got all kinds of time while you're working.
Well, let's just...
It's a good thing you're not paid by the hour.
Ooh, smell that.
I know what it smells like.
Wow, nice. Thank you.
It's that vintage spirit.
That's heavy on the spirit. Ooh.
Yep, vintage spirits.
Awesome.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, kids, thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, I mean,
Retard.
yeah, gravy out. Remember when I asked you if that stator was on the right way?
Well, it is now.
Hey, shit happens.
Idiot.